EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Tonight, we start Week 11 of the NFL season with a good one here between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. From his end zone, here comes Justice Hill. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. It didn't take long to see our first penalty of the game, did it?
We always talk about everyone wanting to get into the game in a hurry. The officials did as well.
Jackson now off the bootleg. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On the counter now, it's Dobbins. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, this defense for the Browns, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles.
And he fires one that's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
And Hill will opt for the touchback.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. The Ravens at 5-4 now on the year. Well, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Jackson. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
And, partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. After the interception, here's Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. First carry for Nick Chubb. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Watson. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
Chubb with a 1st down carry as he'll get about 3 out of it. Make it 2nd and 7 coming up.
Second down at 7.
Back to throw, Watson. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Now Watson will step away, and out comes Cade York to handle this 4th down field goal try for the Browns. York able to send this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there, all the things that have gone on. And the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And, Charles, what a battle this is within the division, because these guys, they've got the lead, but not by much. On the other side of the field, they're knocking on the door and trying to equal them in the wins category.
And I love that second part that you talked about, equaling them in the wins category, because if somehow you get down to the end of the year and they're tied in record, head-to-head's always the first tiebreaker. So the winner of this game, they'll have a big advantage.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Another run here with Dobbins. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 49-yard line. A give up the middle to Dobbins. Taken down at the 47-yard line. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett. $10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Second and 8. They go play action with Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Play action. It's Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have got it back to within a score. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25.
The Browns drive about to get started.
As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
Faking the give. Now Watson. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
Kyle Hamilton picks it. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess. That allows for extra yardage on the return.
Here comes Dobbins on the toss right. He's got it to the 43 here.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
It was starting to become a game for him to forget with the interceptions, but that's a step in the right direction. Not only did he choose to run it instead, but he saw the field well and made a nice pickup to get a new set of downs.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
5 yards remain on 2nd down.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They go play action now. Jackson.
Open man is Bateman. It's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They go back to the ground with Dobbins.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 10 more there and another first down.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Play action. Now Jackson steps away. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Barton, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Number 16's coming. Check mine. Check mine. I got you.
Here's Jackson. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The return from his end zone is Grant. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Browns drive about to get started. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
And still in the first half here, a long way to go. To throw again on second down. Watson trying to lay one up deep. And a high throw there as this is knocked away down to the ground and incomplete.
They decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice. Able to get a hand in and tip it away.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Watson now to throw. That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. After the interception, here's Jackson rolling to his right. That's taken in by Duvernay. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
That is definitely what we call our defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
Check four.
Here's a give to Dobbins. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. 48 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Blue there. Hey, Ozzy, sit up.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight, and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line, I don't think you can anticipate it as much as you need to see it open. You've got to be precise with your throws down here in the red zone. That one goes into double coverage, and he gets picked off.
And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Drops it off for Chubb. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be 2nd down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Watson just beating the play clock. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Amari Cooper as the first half is winding down. And the Browns have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 17-14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. The Browns drive about to get started. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And again, it's Chubb to about the 40-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. The handoff to Ford up the middle. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48.
A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. On first down, Watson to the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Amari Cooper, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far, as his guys are able to extend their lead. The York on now for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Hill going to think better of bringing this one out, and the drive will start at the 25.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that leads you into bigger errors.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Now a handoff for Dobbins.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10. Jackson.
And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down.
The Ravens send their punter out now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Returnable for Grant. Nifty move.
So holding there on the return, and that'll back them up to start the next drive.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression, jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
The holding penalty negates a good return as they'll start just past the 20. And Chubb will try the middle here. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
67 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. They run it again with Chubb. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From the 39, Watson. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Finally home. pulled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Following that sack, Watson and the Browns backed up for a 3rd and long.
Looking to throw.
Quick throw, and he's got Amari Cooper. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker.
It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away.
And this returnable for Hill. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards.
And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. And he can't escape, and down he goes.
Bud Dupree off the edge and getting to the quarterback.
Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. In trouble, and he's taken down.
Bud Dupree, his 2nd sack of the night. And keep in mind, in addition to the 2 sacks that he now has, CD, he's also had a couple of quarterback hurries. He's been very disruptive.
To put it mildly, and it reminds me of the time I asked an offensive tackle who struggled like this in a game. He said he was telling the coach, hey, what do you want me to do? This guy's just eating me alive. And the coach finally just...
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Myles Garrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Jackson now.
Oh, looking for Andrews downfield.
He's got a man complete. A gain of 37.
They absolutely had to take some chances downfield trailing here in the 4th quarter.
So why not go 4 verticals, send the guys downfield, say make a play.
And that's one of the favored routes of offensive coordinators. You know why? Because receivers can be open at any point running that route.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 64 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Right back to Dobbins on 1st.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
4 yards remain for 2nd down.
Now it's Jackson.
He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield.
And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 23.
Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
And he is going to lose yardage here. So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out and a 5-yard penalty. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Here's Jackson to throw. He'll buy some time right. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. That's complete to the fullback, Ricard. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Browns drive about to get started. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. And some room to roam now. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 39 yards there, a big one. He's had his eyes on 7,000 career rushing yards, and with that last effort, he has hit that mark. What a career.
And that is the number to focus in on, because oftentimes we talk about where do they rank all time. We're not there yet. He's not knocking on the top 10 or the top 20, but over 7,000 yards in a career, fantastic.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on 1st down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They go up the middle with Chubb. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 126 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. A give. This is Chubb. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts.
That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Chubb will score. Touchdown, Cleveland. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And the lead now up to 14. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Now Jackson on 1st down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll run with Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with career touchdown number 75.
And the Browns are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. York now for the extra point.
And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call.
Well, trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that personal foul, that only adds to the hole that they're currently standing in.
Yeah, absolutely a bad job of just losing your cool and letting your anger take over. Mistakes like that, not going to help you at this stage of the game.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. The Browns drive about to get started.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
It certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he'll go down at the 28. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for the Browns, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.